or a minimum 65. Both of these teams are wanting this on the second half of the Valor series. Vitality for the Dream.
Let's see if FortheDream can have their dreams come true, or if it will be Vitality with the recovery here in this series. What an epic battle here in the Valor series. Week number 4 has shown us so many amazing matchups.
Yeah, you can see why teams that get Malik, they like to invade really early there. Nice trade from both teams, but Malik does so much damage. His passive plunder means that his enchanted auto attacks do true damage along with his cleave ability too, and that's why when he lands that cleave on the multiple heroes, he just does an insane amount of damage for his lack of items, lack of offensive items that he has on him throughout all levels of the game.
We'll see how that's going to play a factor here as this does progress. We do have Vitality able to escape with some nice little fancy footwork there coming in from the Raz, but we have Grizzly Q and Shurko going to look to try and invade here onto the blue buff. This could actually be huge if this is sniped, and is it going to be? No. Nicely done. That timing from Redemption, able to get that here. That is beautiful. These punishes have been spot on, frame perfect.
That punishes and his last hitting, I mean, Game 1, even though Finnick was invading, he was able to still get last hits on his jungle creep as the Slims here. So Redemption, playing Slims in all 3 matches, has been doing really well with how he's able to make sure when the jungle invades happen, he's not losing, you know, the farm to them by mechanically being able to skill shot these last hits here.
And interesting to see here, the Max is actually beating the Omen, almost securing a solo kill in against the Omen here. This is not really something we're used to seeing, as Rez was going to actually look to back, but no, opting to get one more minion wave here before going to back now. As we do see Arena Violet and crew going to look to go in here and push here onto the Dragon. Vitality is starting this. The whole crew is here. Azure, Alice, man, not the tankiest hero in the world. It can be that frontliner here, but it is going to be once again Redemption with the beautiful last hitting, and it is going to be Coco surviving with that heal just so close. The shield that Ika was able to provide there was so massive. We do see Chitaro entering the fight here with the liftoff. Not able to secure the kill though onto Shurko. That shield though from those braces of submission was massive.
Yeah, it was, and you can see how Malik, you know, he needs to hit as many people with the cleave. And once he hits him with Enchanted Blade, you saw he hit the Alice first, got Enchanted Blade, wait for the cleave to go off cooldown, and went in and hit more heroes with it. And look at the ultimate come down. It barely hits Moon, but there's no follow-up, unfortunately. And you can see Soul Eater, right? Malik is so defensive. When he lands cleave, he restores a percentage of his HP, and also Soul Eater gives him this barrier. So the more hero he hits with Soul Eater, the more heroes he hits with cleave, the more tanking and sustain he gets. He gets that lifesteal, and he gets that barrier, and this is why Malik is so often banned or first pick, because of his kit, which makes him so dangerous and so good on utility.
Well, he's able to just go in, wade amongst his foes, stand tall, stand strong, sustain, have the shield, the lifesteal, everything. He's able to survive in these massive, long, drawn-out fights. So we'll see how that plays a factor going in here into the late game, as we do see the fight over the Spirit Sentinel. The Hissy Fit is there from Azure trying to zone as well. And we've talked about Azure so much in his support play. Alice is a hero that really you can show off. You can make plays on Alice. We saw some like 6-kill Alices over in NA. Rest looking at you. And let's see what Azure here can do with it, repping the EU side with his hero.
Yeah, exactly. Alice is such a higher skill cap support to play. A lot of her abilities are mostly skill shots. And look at that stun coming out. Redemption is saved with the heal, but he's going to fall behind because of Omen. Rez coming ready to clean it up.
Oh, that was massive. Here's the fight is breaking out here. Moon able to push them all around here. Nicely done coming in here for Vitality. That was everything they needed, and that was a beautiful counter initiation, beautifully timed. Vitality finding their stride here in game number 3.
Yeah, I love Raz coming back into the meta. He's so flexible, so dynamic, moves so fast. He doesn't have the best wave clear, but he has such good engage. If you want to comp that engages, you want to play with a Raz here. They have Wonder Woman to get, they have Max to go in, they have Slims to follow up with his Leap of Vitality, with his Savage Potion, which gives him that attack buff, along with 4% HP of the enemy hero. You know, Slims is going to be someone to watch in the late game here because of how Redemption is playing. His positioning is going to be critical, along with Moon engaging really hard.
Redemption and Moon, we talk about them, we talk about them, we talk about them some more. They are some of the massive playmakers here on Vitality. And Moon his Raz play is, I think, taking sort of his prowess as this mid lane to the next level because it's showing he can play versatile strategies of mid lane. He's not just the long range poke. It's not just, being able to dive in and out. It's being able to set up plays, get those massive stuns, and line up the side of FTD for his team. He's being, as much as he's being a playmaker's own right, he's supporting his team as well. I think this is really just showing that he can play this mid role at its deepest level.
Yeah, the mid is what's going to come down to how is Moon engaging, how is Circle counter-engaging or engaging as well, because those are the guys making these plays. And look at Sotaro, he's winning against an Omen in the lane, being able to out-trade him and just fight. And that shows you that even though Omen is a good counter to Max, you can still win against your counter if you play it correctly.
You can indeed, but we're looking now towards the bottom. Ika not quite able to get Alice out of there. Everything was blown there for FTD. That was massive from them. They finally found the opening they were looking for. Slims is split pushing here in the mids. They don't have all the bodies they needed for that fight, but Rez is going to look to counter-engage onto this. He's not going to have his ult available, though. I do not believe does not have it. Used it in the top lane, but is the counter there as we see Moon going in 1v3 on an Abyssal Dragon as well. The fight is breaking across the board here, but it is going to be Moon falling, and it is going to be the Dragon going the way of FTD.
Yeah, that was really risky. I don't know why he would go in 1v3 like that. He should have waited to go in the right moment to get the steal and then die, and that's worth the death. But because he went in too early, he died, got focused, and then also gave the Dragon over, which is going to give the lead over to the side of FortheDream. And this is something they got to be careful of. They can't play too aggressive here and giving these free leads over because of how they're deciding to engage.
Yeah, speaking of engaging, a slight misplay there from Vitality to sort of follow up on that. The stun came in, and then the spear wasn't there to follow up, so Lumber was actually able to get out. That was an uncharacteristic, just simple mechanical misstep from Vitality. I wonder if the spear actually wasn't off cooldown in that situation. But something to note, as you mentioned, they're really, as much as I think it's the caster curse. You hype somebody up and then they go make a silly mistake like that. But Moon was going in, and he really, all that could happen in that situation was that he dies. Maybe he also gets the Dragon, but that's a very high-risk, high-reward situation. And giving up his own death and the Dragon at once, that's really not an ideal situation here because we have the now 3v3. This is a neck-and-neck game at this stage. Now Rez going 1v1 against Suitaro, and Suitaro is going to try and trade onto this here as well. Rez, even with the Death's Embrace, it's not enough. The tower is also falling here, so Vitality still looking good, but it's only a 300 gold difference to EJ.
Yeah, and look at the engage and the aggressiveness coming from side of Vitality. This 4-man rotation is huge for them, and then Slims focusing down the tower. They're getting that third tower now. This is huge. 0 towers on the side of FortheDream. They're able to get any towers on Vitality. And because of the way that they're starving jungle and getting these towers, is allows Vitality now. They're just behind the lead. And look at Sotaro. He's just holding his own against the Omen. Omen is not being able to do too much against this Max here. So because they shut down Omen and they're not allowing Omen to get these ganks onto Sotaro, Vitality is now winning a lot of the map territory, especially in the Dragon side. They got the tier 2 tower on Dragon side, which will allow them to secure yet another Dragon for them.
Potentially here, unless FTD is actually going to snipe this out right now. It actually looks like Vitality is just letting them take this right here, despite, as you said, opening up the side of the map. They're just not really capitalizing on this. But I want to go on a little discussion here about Max. I'm going to talk about Max here for a second, because one thing I'm noticing is sort of how this is playing out. So traditionally, Omen is drafted as a counter to Max. Something we see very often. Darkslayer also trying to be sniped here as well. We'll keep an eye on that. And normally we see Maxes not win that lane match. But in this situation, part of the reason why Max is doing so well is because he's going all in, surviving just long enough, getting himself super low, almost killing the Omen, backing, and then using his liftoff to just immediately get back into lane. Something Rez can't do, and he's helping to sustain this push. It's also giving his team additional vision, but he's using his ult as just a way to get back into lane faster so he can play all out in lane.
Yeah, exactly, and Omen is low. Omen just fought Max, wasn't able to kill him, so he goes home, uses liftoff to deny Omen from going home, and basically wins that trade in lane. So there's always a counter to your counter, guys, and that's exactly what Sotaro is doing. So really good job by him. And look at the way they're taking these towers. FortheDream needs to respond. They need to clear out these waves because they're letting the waves crash in the tower, and they're not jumping into Slims, and they can't do much. But this time is different because of Darkslayer, but before, Vital is executing these rotation and wave pushes really, really well.
It's the pendulum. It's swinging back and forth. Watch how they're doing, and just slowly getting closer and closer and closer to your enemy's team's base until eventually you find openings like they found here onto Coco. The heal is being popped, the follow-up, the whip, the lasso. Coco is getting so very low as Wonder Woman is going in. All the while, we have the tower dropping. This is a great split focus coming in now for Vitality as Grizzly Q is also going to drop the damage coming in from Moon is there. Shurko looking very confused, standing still here in the situation. That is not... Something's going on. That is not an ideal as they're pushing it onto the top here as well. Maybe some slight issues going in as the defensive tower is going to fall. That T3 is dropping the high ground tower, the stun, the follow-up, the inner tower, and that is everything dropping here as we see Vitality pushing in here onto the core. Something is going horribly wrong here for the Dream, not in the situation that they want to be. Shurko is not where he wants to be right now.
He is just there. Maybe he DC, but he's not in the game right now, and that's going to be the game for Vitality there.
Vitality coming out clutch. A solid game number 3 and an amazing series here for the semifinals for the Valor series.